My name is Emma. This is my story. I want to tell you something simple. I married a man I did not love. I speak slowly. Please relax. You can just listen. I am Emma. I am a simple woman. I lived a simple life. When I was young, I had dreams. I wanted love. I wanted a calm life. I wanted peace. But life is not always simple. Sometimes life pushes us. I lived in a small town. The town was quiet. People knew each other. People talked a lot. Every day felt the same. Morning came, night came. I worked in a small office. I had a desk. I had papers. I had a chair by the window. I watched people walk outside. I watched cars pass. At work, people asked questions. They asked about my life. They asked about marriage. Emma, are you married? Emma, do you have a boyfriend? I smiled. I said no. Inside, I felt tired. I felt slow. I felt empty. I was not sad, but I was not happy. My family asked questions too. They called me often. They said time goes fast. They said I should choose someone. They said love can come later. I heard this many times. I heard it again and again. One day I met Tom. Tom was kind. Tom was calm. Tom was polite. He spoke softly. He listened. Tom was not exciting. Tom was not romantic. But Tom was safe. We met at a family dinner. We sat at the same table. He asked simple questions. He asked about my work. He asked about my day. I answered. I felt calm. After that day, we met again. We had coffee. We talked. We talked about work. We talked about food. We talked about life. There was no fire. There was no strong feeling. But there was comfort. People liked Tom. My family liked Tom. They smiled when they saw us. They said, "He is good for you." I listened. Weeks passed. Months passed. Tom asked me to marry him. He asked in a quiet way. There were no big words. I felt my heart slow. I did not feel love, but I felt pressure. I said yes. I told myself it was fine. I told myself love can grow. I believed this. The wedding was simple. People smiled. People clapped. I wore a white dress. Tom stood beside me. Everyone looked happy. Inside, I felt calm, but I felt empty. That was the start. This is where my story begins. After the wedding, life moved fast. Days did not stop. Tom and I moved into a small house. The house was clean. The house was quiet. Every morning we woke up early. We ate breakfast together. We drank coffee. Tom asked, "Did you sleep well?" I said yes. He smiled. We went to work. We came home at night. We ate dinner at the same table. We talked about our day. The talks were simple. Work, weather, plans. Tom was always kind. He never raised his voice. He never showed anger. He cared for me. He asked if I was tired. He asked if I needed help. I said I was fine. Inside, something felt missing. At night, we sat on the sofa. The TV was on. The room was quiet. Tom held my hand. His hand was warm. I felt safe, but I felt distant. I did not feel love. I did not hate him. I did not feel pain. I felt nothing strong. Days became weeks. Weeks became months. People said we were a good couple. They said we were calm. They said calm is good. I agreed. I smiled. But alone, I asked myself questions. I asked, is this enough? I asked, is this marriage? I did not say these words out loud. I did not want to hurt Tom. Tom trusted me. Tom believed in us. He talked about the future. He talked about trips. He talked about a bigger house. I listened. Sometimes I nodded. Sometimes I felt tired. At work, I watched couples. Some laughed. Some argued. Some looked alive. I wondered about love. I wondered if I missed something. One night, Tom looked at me. He asked, "Are you happy, Emma?" His voice was soft. I paused. I smiled. I said yes. He believed me. He kissed my forehead. I felt a quiet pain. I went to bed. I looked at the ceiling. I listened to my breath. I knew something was wrong, but I did not know what to do. I stayed silent. I stayed calm. I stayed married. Time continued to move. Life did not stop for questions. Each morning felt the same. I woke up. I dressed. I went to work. Tom kissed my cheek. He said goodbye. I smiled. At work, my body was there. My mind was far away. I typed on my computer. I answered emails. People spoke around me. I heard words, but I did not feel them. During lunch, I sat alone. I watched people eat. Some people laughed. Some people looked tired. I felt quiet inside. I thought about my life. I thought about love. I asked myself a simple question. Did I choose the right life? There was no clear answer. In the evening, I went home. Tom was already there. He cooked dinner. The smell was nice. He smiled when he saw me. "Welcome home," he said. I said thank you. We ate together. He talked about his day. I listened. I talked about my work. He listened. We were polite. We were calm. After dinner, Tom washed the dishes. I dried them. Our hands did not touch. Not because we did not want to, but because we did not think about it. Later, we sat on the sofa. The TV showed a movie. I did not know the story. I did not care. Tom sat close to me. He put his arm around me. I stayed still. I did not pull away. I did not move closer. I felt safe, but I did not feel close. That night I could not sleep. Tom slept beside me. His breath was slow. I looked at him. He was a good man. He did nothing wrong. This made everything harder. If he was bad, it was easy. If he was cruel, it was clear. But he was kind. I felt guilty. I asked myself again, why do I feel empty? I did not have a big answer. The next day was the same. Work, home, dinner. Days passed like this. One day I met an old friend. Her name was Anna. She smiled when she saw me. "Emma," she said. "It's been a long time we sat together." We drank coffee. She asked about my life. I told her I was married. She looked happy for me. "Are you happy?" she asked. Her question felt heavy. I paused. I said, "I think so." She looked at me. She did not say anything, but she listened. I felt something open inside me. I talked more than I planned. I talked about silence. I talked about routine. I did not say love, but she understood. She said it's okay to feel lost. Her words were simple. They stayed with me. That night, I thought again. I felt tired of pretending. I wanted to feel something real, but I was afraid. The days after that meeting felt different. Not loud, not dramatic, just different. I noticed small things. I noticed my silence. I noticed my smile was slow. At home, Tom asked about my day. I answered with short words. Yes, it was fine. He nodded. He did not push. One evening we ate dinner in silence. The sound of forks was loud. Tom looked at me. He said my name, Emma. I looked up. He paused. "I feel you are far," he said. His voice was calm. I felt my chest tighten. I did not want to lie, but I did not know how to speak. I said, "I am just tired." He believed me. He always believed me. That night I cried quietly. I turned my face away. Tom did not hear. I cried because I felt weak. I cried because I felt stuck. I asked myself again, can I stay like this forever? The answer scared me. Days passed. The house felt smaller, not because of walls, but because of silence. Tom planned a small trip, just 2 days. He said it could help us relax. I agreed. We drove together. The road was long and quiet. Music played softly. Tom talked about the place. I looked out the window. When we arrived, the room was nice, clean, simple. We sat on the bed. Tom smiled. He took my hand. I felt his care. I felt his hope. I felt my fear. That night we talked more. Tom said, "I love you." The words were gentle. I froze. I did not say it back. I said nothing. He noticed. He looked down. "I am sorry," he said. I did not mean to push. His kindness hurt more than anger. I realized something then. I was not fair to him. I was not fair to myself. Love should not feel empty. Marriage should not feel quiet inside. I did not sleep that night. I watched the dark. I knew a choice was coming. A simple choice, but a heavy one. The next morning came slowly. Light entered the room. I sat on the bed. Tom was still asleep. I watched his face. He looked peaceful. He trusted me. This made my heart feel heavy. We ate breakfast in silence. Coffee, bread. Tom smiled, but it was different. We drove back home. The road felt longer. At home, life returned to routine, but I was not the same. I felt awake inside. At work, I made mistakes, small ones. I forgot emails. I missed meetings. My mind was busy. I thought about honesty. I thought about truth. One evening, I stood alone in the kitchen. Tom was in the other room. I looked at the table. I looked at the chairs. This was my life. It was safe. It was quiet, but it was not full. I knew I could stay. I knew many people did, but I also knew something else. If I stayed silent, I would disappear slowly. That night I sat with Tom. The TV was off. I took a breath. "Tom," I said. He looked at me. He listened. "I need to speak," I said. My voice was soft. He nodded. I looked at my hands. "I respect you," I said. "I care about you." He waited. "But I do not feel love," I said. The words felt heavy, but they were clear. Tom did not shout. He did not stand up. He stayed still. He asked, "Did I do something wrong?" I shook my head. "No," I said. "This is not your fault." Silence filled the room. He looked away. "I wanted to grow love," I said. I tried. My eyes filled with tears, but it did not come, I said. Tom breathed slowly. He looked tired. "I felt it," he said. His words surprised me. "I felt you were far," he said. I cried then, not loud, just quiet tears. "I am sorry," I said. He nodded. "I know," he said. That night, we did not touch, but for the first time, I felt honest. After that talk, the house felt different. Not loud, not broken, just open. We slept in the same bed, but there was space between us. In the morning, Tom woke up early. He made coffee. He placed a cup in front of me. We sat at the table. No small talk, no routine words, just silence. Tom looked at me. "I need time," he said. I nodded. "I understand," I said. That day, we moved slowly. I went to work. He stayed home. At work, I felt weak, but I also felt light. For the first time in a long time, I was not hiding. When I returned home, Tom was packing a small bag, not to leave forever, just to think. "I will stay with my brother," he said. His voice was calm. I helped him close the bag. Our hands touched. It felt sad, but it felt real. At the door, he stopped. "You were honest," he said. "That matters." I felt tears again. "I never wanted to hurt you," I said. "I know," he answered. The door closed. The house became very quiet. That night, I sat alone. I listened to the sounds of the house, the clock, the fridge. I felt lonely, but I did not feel trapped. Days passed. Tom and I talked sometimes. Short messages, simple words. How are you? I am okay. I learned to sit with myself. I cooked for one. I ate slowly. I walked alone. I thought about who I was. I thought about choices. I did not feel happy yet, but I felt true. One evening, Tom came to talk. We sat again at the table. I think we both know, he said. I nodded. We should end this, he said. My heart felt heavy, but I agreed. We did not fight. We did not blame. We chose respect. That choice hurt, but it was clean. That was important. After we decided to separate, life became quiet. Not empty, just calm. Tom moved his things slowly, box by box. We spoke with care. Do you need this? No, you can keep it. There was no anger, only sadness. The house changed. The space felt bigger, not because of walls, but because of silence. At night, I slept alone. The bed felt wide. I listened to my breath. Some nights I cried, some nights I did not. Days became weeks. I returned to simple life: work, home, rest. People noticed change. Are you okay, Emma? I said yes. Not happy, not broken, just healing. One morning I woke up and felt calm, no fear, no pressure, just peace. I made coffee. I opened the window. Light came in. For the first time in a long time, I felt present. I started doing small things. I walked in the park. I sat in the sun. I listened to birds. I did not rush. I did not chase. I rested. I thought about love. Not the big idea, not stories. Just simple love, respect, care, truth. I learned something important. Love is not pressure. Love is not fear. Love is not silence. Love is calm, but it is alive. One day I met Tom again. We met for coffee. We smiled. Not as a couple, as people. We talked easily. He looked better, stronger. I hope you are well, he said. I am learning, I said. He nodded. We did not stay long, but it felt clean. No pain, no anger, just respect. I walked home slowly. I felt light. After that meeting, I felt steady. Not excited, not sad, steady. I kept my day simple. I woke up early. I made tea. I sat quietly. I listened to the morning sounds: cars, birds, wind. I did not rush. At work, I focused more. My hands felt calm. I finished tasks. I took breaks. People smiled at me. They said I looked peaceful. I felt it too. In the evenings, I cooked simple meals: rice, vegetables, soup. I ate slowly. I watched the light change. Some nights I felt lonely. I let the feeling stay. I did not fight it. I learned that feelings pass. They come, they go. One weekend I cleaned the house. I found old photos. Photos of the wedding, photos of smiles. I looked at them. I did not cry. I said thank you to the past. Then I put them away. I started reading again. Simple books. I walked more. My body felt lighter. One afternoon I met Anna again. We sat in the same cafe. She asked, "How are you now?" I smiled. "I am honest," I said. She smiled back. "That is a good place," she said. I believed her. That night I wrote in a notebook. I wrote about fear. I wrote about truth. I wrote about choice. I understood something new. I did not fail. I learned. I did not lose time. I gained myself. I slept well that night. The room felt calm. My heart felt open. Time passed in a soft way. Not fast, not slow, just right. I kept living my days. I worked. I rested. I listened to myself. I stopped asking hard questions. I started feeling simple things. Warm coffee in the morning. Fresh air on my face. A quiet smile. I felt stronger inside. Not because life was perfect, but because I was honest. I no longer lived to please others. I lived to respect myself. One day I realized something small. I was not afraid anymore. Not of being alone. Not of silence. I enjoyed my space. I enjoyed my voice. People still asked questions. Are you married now? I smiled. I said no. And it felt good. I did not explain. I did not defend. I just spoke the truth. Some people looked surprised. Some people nodded. I did not need approval. I felt complete. One evening I walked home slowly. The sky was calm. I felt grateful. Not for pain, not for loss, but for learning. I learned that love cannot be forced. I learned that calm without love is not enough. I learned that honesty is kind, even when it hurts. I thought about Tom. I wished him well. I knew he would find love, real love, and I knew I would too. One day, in my time, I was not in a hurry. Now, as I tell you this story, I feel calm, I feel clear. I am Emma. This was my choice. I married without love, and I learned from it. Life does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers. We need to listen. If you are listening now, maybe you feel tired. Maybe you feel quiet inside. That is okay. You do not need to rush. You do not need to decide today. Just listen. Just breathe. Love should feel honest. Life should feel true. I hope my story helped you listen and feel calm. If you enjoyed this story, you can listen to more stories like this. You can subscribe to this channel. You can leave a comment and tell how you felt. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Now you can rest.